Hi friends, welcome to this discussion. In this series of video, we are talking about the basics of cell cycle and cell division. In the past discussion, we had the basic discussion regarding cell division, such as what is cell division, why cell division should happen, and how cell division happens. In that, we have seen there are basically three different phases of cell division. One is the interphase, other one is the karyokinesis, either it can be mitosis or meiosis, and third one is cytokinesis. So as a continuation in this video, we are going to talk about the first phase of cell division, that is the interphase or the preparatory phase. So friends, those who haven't watched the previous video, kindly get back to those previous video. Please do watch it and join us here, right? Friends, this is going to be the basic sketch of cell, outline of cell. You see, this is the nucleus, this is a outer membrane, which is for sure the plasma membrane. And in case of a plant cell or a fungal cell or a bacterial cell, there can be an additional membrane. This is the cell wall, and you can see the various cell organelles located in the cytoplasm. So it's a very rough sketch of a cell. And in today's discussion, we are going to talk about preparatory phase of cell division, that is, we call it as an interphase. So as I said, before the nuclear divides, before there is going to be the division of cytoplasm, the cell has to get prepared. That's why we call this phase as a preparatory phase or a interphase. So basically this has got three subphases. One is the gap 1 phase. Okay, the other one is S phase, the other one is G2 phase. Okay, so there are basically three different subphases in cell division: gap 1, gap 2, some people even call it as a growth 1, growth 2, and the middle one is what is called as S phase or synthetic phase, right? Let's have a very basic idea about it. Let me first take G2 phase. What exactly happens in G2 phase is the replication of semi-autonomous organelle. As I said, the cells gets prepared, everything has to divide into two, so that the cell can divide equally into its two daughter cells. So in that, the replication of semi-autonomous organelle, hope you are aware of what semi-autonomous organelle are. One is the mitochondria, other one is the chloroplast, and the description or a detailed discussion regarding the structure of mitochondria and chloroplast is also done, okay, in this in our part. So kindly get back to those video in case if you want to refer it. So the semi-autonomous organelle, okay, preparation, that is the duplication, happens in growth 2 phase. And friends, you in coming videos or discussion, you will be talking about a thing called as mitotic spindle. Okay, so just remember that mitotic spindle formation do happens in G2 phase. So this is one thing. The other one is formation of mitotic spindle do happen in G2 phase. So these are all going to be the major events in G2 phase, right? Fine. Next is synthetic phase. Synthetic phase, the major thing that happens is DNA replication. I'll dedicate a special video regarding it, not DNA replication, but what is exactly DNA, chromosome, etc., so that you can understand what exactly happens here. There is going to be a DNA replication. Say for example, if this is the chromosome, which is the condensed structure of DNA, what happens is, due to this replication process, so let this be the centromere. So due to this replication process, what happens here is, this is going to get transformed into like this. Okay, this is what we call it as DNA replication or the chromosomal duplication. So what happens here is, see friends, this is the concentration of chromosome here is C. Now this has become the concentration of chromosome is 2C. In case this is 2C, this is going to be 4C. Okay, so this is what exactly an important event happening in the synthetic phase. Okay, and also a protein which is called as a genetic protein. Why? Because this protein is associated with the DNA. We call that protein as histone. Right? That histone production do happen in synthetic phase. Okay. So something we can say the nucleus is getting prepared, and also centriole duplication, okay, happens in synthetic phase. So these are all the major events that happens in synthetic phase. And regarding this DNA replication and what is the chromosome, what is the connection between the DNA and chromosome, everything, I'll try to make it as a separate discussion before we move on to the karyokinesis, that is the nuclear division happening either through mitosis or through meiosis, right? Friends, coming to the G1 phase, nowadays G1, that is the gap 1 phase, is referred as a growth 1 phase because the cell actually grow. It is the phase where the cell is metabolically active. What do you mean by the term metabolically active? All the metabolic reactions do happen, the protein synthesis happen, carbohydrate synthesis happen, the cell grows in size. Okay, and this is one point. And second one is the mitotic spindle, which is formed in G2 phase, is actually the polymer of, I can say, is a kind of polymer or it is made up of a protein called as tubulin, microtubules. So all those things are formed in the G1 phase. Okay, and for this replication, DNA polymerase is required. Okay, and this DNA polymerase production happens in G1 phase, and organelles other than semi-autonomous organelle like endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, so those synthesis or the replication do happen. There is Golgi complex. Okay, all those organelles replication or the increase in number do happen in G1 phase. Okay, so I can say other cell organelle. And friends, some books do say that mitochondrial duplication do happen in G1 phase, but to my knowledge, from the authorized text, the mitochondrial, that is the semi-autonomous organelle duplication happens is exclusively confined to G2 phase, right? So this is what is a short summary of the preparatory phase or the interphase. Okay, so again I say this is classified into G1, yes, and G2, and to be crisp, G2 phase, the semi-autonomous organelle, okay, duplication do happen, the mitotic spindle is formed, and S phase I have said this is something related to DNA. So DNA replication, there is the chromosomal increase in chromosomal concentration, but not in chromosomal number. Okay, so please don't get confused here. That's what I said. I'll make a separate video on it, right? And histone, the centriole formation do happen in S phase, right? And first phase, the G1 phase, is the cell is metabolically active, the cell grows, right? Okay, the DNA polymerase, the enzymes are produced, okay, and other cell organelle numbers do increase. And friends, in this I want to highlight one important point. There are some enzymes that is going to promote the cell from one phase to other phase. You can call it as a cyclin dependent kinases. It's a very big branch of the cell biology. But my point is those enzymes are also produced in G1 phase. So G1 phase is a general growth phase, right? So whatever event is happening in S phase and G2 phase, apart from those events, the general events happen in G1 phase, right? So in case the cell is not actively participating in cell division, then what happens is the cell rests itself in a dormant phase, which is what is called as a G0 phase. This is a dormant phase. The cell rests itself. Okay, it doesn't actively divide. So it can be due to nutrient deprivation, lack of growth factors. If any of the conditions which are not favorable for the cell to divide, the cell actually remain dormant in GO phase or G0 phase, right? And friends, an interesting point that I want to convey here is, in a human, a heart cell, nerve cell generally don't divide. They don't divide. They are generally seen in GO phase. We can also call as a dormant phase, resting phase, right? Okay. Neuron will keep increasing in length as a person grows, but actually their number won't increase. Okay. Due to age, okay, problem, the number might decrease. There might be a degradation of neuron, but at any point of time there is no increase in neuron number, because why is the cell doesn't divide, right? And that's the reason, friends, why neuron and cardiac muscle, that is the heart cells, don't develop cancer. And you people might be surprised if I am bringing a concept of cancer here. Can you correlate? Okay. So in case if you can correlate the reason for cancer, please do mention it in the comment section. In due course of time, I'll be making a separate discussion of cancer and its significance with cell division, right? Thanks for watching this video. In next video, we will meet with another interesting discussion. Thanks.